everybody, welcome back.
Hey everybody, welcome to the JoBlo Movie Show Podcast. I'm Chris Bumbray, joined by my co-hosts Sean Wist,
Sean Wist, Chapter 2,
Sean Wist, and Paul Shirey.
Chris has taken over.
Somebody get this man a mic.
That's a little podcast joke for everyone.
Thank you for your effort.
Thank you for your efforts. So I'm Paul Shirey once again, and that was Chris Bumbray. And we're going to talk some movie stuff this week. Chris is in Sundance right now. He's on a tight schedule,
so
everybody.
we will not waste any time with this podcast.
Want everybody to know
None whatsoever, because we really value Chris's opinion and his thoughts and his all-dressed chips.
Oh, speaking of all-dressed chips, though,
oh shit!
I was at the Fresh Market in Park City, Utah,
be
because I'm at Sundance, and I was shopping for chips, and I was looking at all the different kinds of flavors that you guys have, and guess what I saw? Ruffles all dressed.
So
they've now come. They're so good that they've come to America now.
Yep. I mean,
don't lie. You smuggled that bag in and placed it
on the shelf. Yeah.
No, that was one of Donald Trump's executive orders that he signed in day one.
Well, they are orange.
Ruffles all dressed will be on every grocery store shelf. So, making America great again already.
Hey, speaking of which, can I give you guys a little election day story?
Oh Christ!
Not election day story, inauguration day story.
As long as we don't want to disrupt our viewers.
No, I'm not getting political, okay. But it was just something that happened on the morning of inauguration day on a Friday. So I was at the Park City Marriott, which is where the headquarters is at the Sundance Film Festival. It's where I go to get tickets and my badge and whatever. And anyway, I had a couple hours off and I hadn't eaten in a few days because that's how it goes at the festivals. And I decided to have myself a little breakfast. So I go down to the breakfast buffet in the restaurant in the basement of the Marriott, and Patton Oswalt was there because Patton Oswalt's on the jury this year. Now, Patton Oswalt, from what I've heard, I find him really funny, and I'm a big fan of his. But I've always heard that he's a prickly kind of guy. If you approach him, he's kind of not the warmest fellow. But I like him a lot. I really respect him. But I didn't want to bother him, so I'm just keeping to myself and getting my breakfast and whatever. So I'm going to get some toast, and I'm just pulling my arm back, and I elbowed him in the stomach.
Toast.
Elbowed him in the stomach because he was right behind me.
On purpose?
Oh
my God, Chris.
And then I hope you said, hey, fucker, right after you did it.
I didn't know he was behind me, but he was so close to me, and I elbowed him in the stomach, and and whatever, and I turned around, and I'm like, oh, shit, I'm really sorry, man, and he took it well. He said, it's all good. He goes, it was my bad, and I said, okay, cool, and I went back to my chair, and I ate my breakfast.
JoBlo wages war on Patton Oswalt.
That's a little story I wanted to share with you guys.
I kind of like that story because I don't really like Patton Oswalt, so that makes me happy.
I like him.
Whatever.
I recently rewatched Observe and Report, and he plays that despicable character, and I'm like, man, he really fits that character. I've never met the guy. I don't know anything about him, but I'm just saying he was really good at playing that despicable guy that you wanted Seth Rogen to shove into that oven.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna rewatch Observe and Report as soon as when I get back to Montreal, because I think I'll make that my next best movie you never saw.
I don't know. I kind of been wanting to write that one myself.
Well, too bad. You gave me the column, Paul.
I could take it away. I'm the boss.
Fuck you.
That's how Chris will elbow you in the stomach.
Yeah.
I'll help you in the stomach while I'm getting my toast at the breakfast bar.
I just don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck about anything.
I'm here to get my toast, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about
cannot
anything.
Be stopped.
If you're a star, I don't give a fuck. I'll elbow you.
I love it.
Oh, that's rich. All right, that was pretty. That was a shitty story, but it was still funny.
Hey, come on, doing my best here. Jesus,
doing my best. All right,
not easy, All
right, so let's get into the news. There's a lot of news this week, so we're just gonna jump right into it. What's strange, just a lot of it's broken just today, which is a little strange. But
and we have the Oscar nominations tomorrow, so that's why we're not talking about them, guys, because we're recording on Monday night.
But don't worry, we will have the article up right away so that you can jump in there and.
We're gonna write an article about the Oscar nominations?
Of course, every year we do.
Wow!
Imagine that. Oh, excuse me.
Wow!
Like a Star Wars title.
Like a Star Wars title.
Whoa! Now that is a transition.
There it is. What is the new Star Wars title?
The title of Episode 8 is Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Insert Star Wars music. No, not yours. Shut your mouth. You're desecrating John Williams. John Williams isn't even dead, and he's turning in his grave.
Have you ever heard No. No, put on the disco version of the Star Wars theme from Miko, that band Miko, MECO. It was a disco hit in the late 70s. It's like...
Stop. I'm going to elbow you in the stomach and make you puke up your toast. All right, so Star Wars The Last Jedi is the title of the newest Star Wars film in the new Skywalker trilogy, I guess, if you want to refer to it that way.
Yeah, Lucasfilm in their press release called it the Skywalker Saga. Have they ever officially called it that? Or
I don't think they have. I always think...
Because I thought that was kind of fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about seeing it in print from, Lucasfilm itself. It's like the Skywalker Saga.
That brings up a good point for discussion, too, because is that their way of almost saying, like, hey, this is a Skywalker Saga? That kind of like brings into Rey into question again, because, there's the discussion, is she a Skywalker? And if Luke is the last Jedi, that's what I think that's what most people are assuming, who, is the title.
No, I think Daisy Ridley is the last Jedi.
Wouldn't she be like the new Jedi though, rather than the last Jedi?
Well, if she becomes a Jedi during the course of the film.
Well, she's on her way.
So she could become the last Jedi, and that would mean that Luke would die, and then she's the last Jedi.
I don't think they're going to kill Luke, though, to be honest.
I don't think they are either, because, from, I believe, various reports, he said he's returning for Episode 9, but, that could always be, smoke and mirrors, too, of him trying to, he would never admit, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, I die.
It's a little predictable if they kill him, though.
Everybody dies, Chris.
No.
Even Jedis.
No.
Yep.
Even Don Johnson?
Don Johnson will kick the bucket.
Don Johnson's the last Jedi.
even Bret Easton Ellis?
Yeah.
No.
Piece of shit. So anyways, I'm super stoked. I think when I asked everybody, because we're doing a top 10 this week of most anticipated films just for the shit of it, I asked all the news editors, and everybody was like, hey, send me your top 10 list, most anticipated movies of the year. And almost everybody, actually, I think it was one person didn't have Episode 8 on their list.
Who didn't list it?
I think it was Jimmy O.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know that for a fact, though, so don't tear into him yet. But somebody didn't. I was like, really?
It wasn't my number one, though.
Well, that's fine. But you know what? It was number one for a lot of people. I would say at least half the people.
It probably should be number one overall, though, I would say. For our readers, that's probably the number one movie.
I mean, I do it very, mathematically in that sense. I tally up all the votes for who put in what, and, that's how I made the list. So when it comes out, it is an accurate reflection of basically the JoBlo staff's picks for most anticipated of the year. So
they usually reflect the audience to a certain extent.
Yeah. Well, it reflects us, and it reflects, in general.
Yeah.
I have the final say. So
can we talk about the font? Everybody's concerned about how it's red.
It is interesting.
It is red. Yes, that is true. I've confirmed it with the source.
Hey, some people are colorblind. They don't have any fucking idea what color that shit is. They're like, why is it gray? So, I think that is, there's a lot of it. It's just a title, but there's a lot, I think there's more going on there. You could take it any way, and I'm sure they knew that, going in. They don't just like, hey, Last Jedi, that sounds pretty fun, good job. Hey, all right, let's go. It's been a great weekend. We'll put out the press release. No problem. Sounds wonderful. I'm sure that there was a lot of thought that went into it.
Yeah, it's just Star Wars.
It's just a fucking Star War.
It's not like their fans pick every little single fucking thing apart.
We're on a podcast. It's the first fucking thing we're talking about, so obviously it matters.
It's the only thing I heard about this morning at the fucking press screening that I went to. Everybody was like, Star Wars, Last Jedi, Last Jedi, Last Jedi, Last Jedi. Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Shut your fucking mouth, Rey's a Skywalker. Yeah, so anyways, I'm super stoked for the movie. I loved Force Awakens unabashedly. And I don't know, I grew up with the Skywalker saga. That's fucking.
I mean,
the bee's knees
all
for
three
me, man.
trilogies are the Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
kind
true,
of. I mean,
true.
the whole movie, you could look at the whole thing as an ensemble except Rogue One and call it the Skywalker saga, really.
Except for what?
Rogue One is not part of the Skywalker
What?
saga,
I don't know.
I'd say.
I don't know what.
Shut up.
just
What's
said.
Rogue One? What is Rogue One?
Shut up.
I don't know what Chris is saying. So maybe it's
Shut
the
up.
accent is coming in too thick.
Hey, one of our readers, actually was Matt Rooney, said that you and I are like Sam and Diane on Cheers. So I guess that makes Paul Rebecca or Coach. Or maybe Frasier.
No. Maybe I'm Woody.
No, you're not Woody.
All right. Too smart for that. Okay, so anyway, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, new title, could mean anything. I personally think that The Last Jedi is alluding to Luke, but I also think that maybe there could easily be like a double meaning in there if Luke were to die.
Or a triple meaning.
Triple. It's like a
Or a
triple.
quadruple meaning.
You shut your mouth.
It's almost like a triple rainbow. So, yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Pretty much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's the reaction I had this morning. I fucking love writing up Star Wars stuff, especially when it's big news, like just the title, and I'm like instantly. I love it.
Because you're a nerd.
I believe the email came in with the title, and Sean's reaction was "fap, fap, 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 fap."
That was correct. And after I was done with that, I wrote up the article promptly.
Red Oaks.
All right, so we're all excited for that. Next up to discuss, last week there was a rumor. Let's all lean on this rumor of Green Lantern casting rumor candidates. And this came from the Wrap, from our good friend Humberto Gonzalez.
Oh, well, they're always right.
I don't know. It came out on the inaugural day, inauguration. And I guess there's a lot of people that were upset and crying and stuff. And so it almost felt like he was putting it out to like kind of like give people something else to chew on rather than, and I could be wrong, rather than it being a fully formed scoop. It almost feels like, I'm just going to drop this since everybody's upset. Now's a good time to capitalize on it. I think it's a smart move if that was the case. I'm not saying it was, but if that was the move, it was a smart one. Because, I mean, that's there was a lot of people that wanted to be distracted. And this is a distraction because there's some names in there that just don't measure up. So the people that are mentioned as potentials for Hal Jordan, and this sounds like, honestly, the list to me, it sounds like a fucking spitball meeting and nothing more. It doesn't sound like hey, these are the fucking marks on the wall, guys. We've really got to decide. It sounds like, well, let's just throw out some names, people, and see which. And then they left the meeting with 5 or 6 top names.
Joel McHale.
Yeah. So we have Tom Cruise, who, listen, he would be pushing 60 by the time this came out.
And he's not going to do it, too.
No, fuck no. And a lot of people are like, well, maybe they're going for an older Hal Jordan. I was like, okay, I can give you that since they did an older-ish Batman. But really, he's going to be pushing 60, man. And he's not. They're like, well, he hasn't done a superhero franchise. Maybe he needs to. And it's like, no, Tom Cruise doesn't even. Jack Reacher 2 was a piece of shit. But guess what? He's got plenty of other things to fall back on. He doesn't need to do a superhero film.
Yeah, he's his own franchise.
The other name,
he doesn't need to play a superhero. He is a superhero.
He is that motherfucker. He fucking for real. He is, no lie. The other name that you had already said, Chris, was Joel McHale, which is just a terrible fucking idea. That's just a terrible. I like Joel McHale. He's a funny guy, but that's it. He's a funny guy, and we don't need jokey, smiley Hal Jordan.
It almost makes sense if you look at it from the perspective of like, hey, we need a Deadpool character. You know what I mean? Let's make this this. I don't think they're going to do it, but I'm just saying, devil's advocate, like, oh, let's make like one of the Green Lanterns like a Deadpool, like who's like comic relief and stuff like that.
Well, the list is such bullshit, though. They've got Ryan Reynolds is on the list.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Speaking of that, we have
Green Lantern.
We have Ryan Reynolds. But here's the thing. I guarantee you when they sit down in meetings like this, they're like, well, what about Ryan? Because now Ryan he's redeemed himself with real street cred with Deadpool. But at this point, why the fuck would Ryan want to do Green Lantern? Why would he want to return to that? He's already got burned once. It's like, well, now that I did it, and I have Deadpool. Like, dude, that's just playing with fire. I think he's fully committed to Deadpool. He's going to ride that fucking train for as long as he can, which he's already said he would. I don't see anything. There's no amount of money I think that they would entice him to come back and play Green Lantern.
Two of the other names on the list really strike me as bullshit too. Bradley Cooper and Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't see either of them signing on to something like that.
I don't think so either. I'm right there with you. I think Bradley Cooper would do a good job, but he's already fucking Rocket Raccoon. And you could say, well, that's an animated character. He's just doing the voice. And it's like, well, yeah, you're right. But Bradley Cooper's not short on projects here. He's not hurting.
Yeah, he's not.
You know? And you don't have
he wants to direct too. And,
right.
You know,
and here's my other point is you don't have to be hurting to want one of these roles or to need one of these roles.
But it will define your career, though. It
will. And it is a commitment. So Bradley Cooper's somebody that has proven that he likes to play around. He likes to do different things. He's not going to I'm just going to fucking jump right into this and swim in it. You know, I don't think that he's that eager to, I don't think he'd be that eager to sign on to it, especially with his Marvel commitments.
And it's the same thing with Gyllenhaal.
Well, exactly. Gyllenhaal is a bona fide fucking actor. And I'm not to discredit the other guys, but I mean, Gyllenhaal is somebody that's really focused on doing specific projects. You know what I'm saying? He commits himself, he immerses himself in the role, and he doesn't really look Hal Jordan. However,
Armie Hammer I could see.
Armie Hammer I think is the best candidate out of all of those, and he's playing coy with, they just did an interview and he was like, I've ever heard of this rumor of this, and he's following Jeff Johns on Twitter, and he's doing all this fucking with everybody thing. So I almost feel like he's a shoo-in at this point. I can't say that for sure, but I feel
it makes sense from a career standpoint because he's not quite like the status of those other stars either. He's kind of working his way there.
Right.
His stock
and you're
is going to
talking
go
about exactly. And when we were talking about somebody that actually could need it, this is a good one for Armie Hammer.
His stock is going to go up quite a bit, though, I would say. After now, Call Me By Your Name, it just premiered at Sundance last night. And it's been probably the most well-received film of the fest so far. And he's really good in it. I mean, it's not a super commercial movie, but it could potentially be an Oscar contender.
Is this some Sundance bullshit you're talking about?
What's the name of the movie?
Call Me By Your Name by the guy who did A Bigger Splash.
Okay, Sean, but what's the name of the movie?
Sean.
Okay, Chris. But anyway, it's a really good movie, and I think that if he was to do Green Lantern, sign on to it after the heat of that movie comes off, I mean, I think it could be very good for his career. I could totally see him doing it.
And he looks the part, he could play the part, he's got a good balance of the physicality and then the comedy and the chops and all of this stuff and the presence. And you also have to remember, he almost played Batman too in George Miller's Justice League that didn't happen. So it's not the first time that he's, toyed with playing somebody in a costume. So, and again, I think, Lone Ranger is not a great film, but he was good at it.
No, it's not his fault though.
Yeah. And he's just got the presence for it. The other person that I would throw in that I think should be considered if they aren't considering is John Krasinski, who's, gotten himself in really great shape with 13 Hours, and he's kind of trying to take on that.
But he's doing Jack Ryan now for Amazon. I think that's going to be his life for a while.
Well, but again, that's something that you shoot. You shoot that whole season, and then it's like, okay, see what happens. And after that gets
canceled, then he's free to do whatever.
Exactly. So I think that he's my, I guess, my dark horse. I don't even think he's really a dark horse. I think he's a viable option for the role. So, but anyways, that's the list. I think out of all those names, I think we can all agree that Armie Hammer sounds like the most sensible and realistic person. The rest really don't fit. At least two of them are completely fucking off the fucking grid in terms of it ever happening. I would be shocked as fuck if that shit happened.
So, how's about Alien 5?
Alien 5 is not looking good, people.
Oh, so I never I never thought it was going to happen.
It was always a long shot that Neil Blomkamp would direct a proper sequel to Aliens, which would be Alien 5/Alien 3, making up for David Fincher's stylish and fun yet poor attempt.
What are you reading? The back of a fucking DVD box there, Paul?
No, man. It's all straight from my
fun.
My brain, man. This just pops it out. It was stylish and fun, but it didn't really fit into. It was not what the fuck I wanted to see after Aliens.
You could describe it with some of those letters. Yeah.
It wasn't the movie the fans wanted.
No, it wasn't the movie I wanted. But I mean, you could watch it and be like, oh yeah, it's a fun, cool Fincher movie, but it's not a great follow-up to Aliens. And they kill off two of the best characters.
I agree with the second part of that.
Which second part?
Where it's not a good follow-up to Aliens.
Yeah,
I've come around to it, though, over the years. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than Alien Resurrection or Alien versus Predator or Alien
but that's not
versus Predator Requiem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Exactly. Anyways, Neil Blomkamp tweeted that somebody had asked him on Twitter what are the chances of the Alien project happening, and he wrote slim.
Yeah.
Which is a crushing blow to those of us that had hoped to see Michael Biehn resurrected as Hicks, my favorite, most badass character from Aliens, who deserves a fucking another shot, I feel, at taking on the aliens and given a proper limelight. But yeah, it's...
So let me ask you this. What do you think is the main reason that it's not going to happen if it doesn't?
I think Ridley still has plans for another prequel film after Covenant. And I think that Fox is basically, they're kind of hedging their bets on what happens with Covenant first before they do anything else. Mm-hmm. And I think that Blomkamp is simply, he's a filmmaker. He wants to make films, and he can't basically just sit around and wait for another director to, finish his run on a franchise. I mean, that could be up to 5 years.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Blomkamp is I think what he's saying is, I'm not waiting around for it. And he probably doesn't have any idea. A lot of times I think people assume they're like, oh, everybody in Hollywood knows everything. Like they know the deals, they're just keeping secrets. But I think a lot of times these filmmakers, they're just as much in the dark as we are. And just like, I have no fucking idea what the studio wants to do. I've talked to them, yes, and they've told me certain things, but nothing's, no contracts are signed, or anything like that. So I know for a fact that the project was put on the books though. And then Alien Covenant kind of changed things around. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to follow.
I think Chappie also changed things around a bit.
See, I really like Chappie. I thought it was
Sorry to say. I like Chappie too, but just he's had a couple big flops though, and that's kind of how it goes.
I think depending on how well Covenant does, that maybe they'll kind of revisit the idea.
Yes. And that's a big part of it too, is bringing back the xenomorphs that everybody was dying to see at the end of Prometheus, which we got the big tease for, and obviously you're getting a shit ton of fucking xenomorphs.
I think it's more likely to happen if Covenant flops, to be honest.
I don't know, maybe.
Because if Covenant's a hit, they're gonna just keep making Alien Covenant. They're gonna make an Alien Covenant sequel.
Maybe. But at the same time, if it's a flop, that's not going to really be an incentive to make more Alien films. It's kind of like, oh shit.
And it's not like one of those superhero things where they only have the rights for a certain amount of times. It's an original property that they own, so they can make it.
Yeah, they might just
want.
Scale it back. Like if Covenant bombs, they'll be like, all right, obviously people are interested, but the next movie we want to do, it's going to be stripped down. Not like a Ridley Scott budget.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know. We'll see. I would really like for it to happen, but yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath. So we'll see what happens. Next up on the list, David Ayer, the director of Suicide Squad, this weekend must have taken some time to sit down and write his thoughts and his perspective on the success and critical failure of Suicide
Squad. A glass of
Squad.
white wine and a warm bath.
Yeah, sitting there, had some candles lit, some Sade playing. And I'm just going to read it out real quick.
It's Sade.
Sorry. I apologize to everybody.
Now the Sade fans have left the podcast.
Smooth operator.
Come back.
that little market crossover of JoBlo.com visitors and Sade fans.
God damn it. We can't hold on to anybody.
Paul.
So David Ayer had this to say. I'll read it verbatim just for the fuck of it, in case you haven't read it, so then you'll know what it is. So David Ayer wrote, "Thank you so much. I know it's a controversial film. I really tried to make something different with a look and voice of its own. I took inspiration from the insanity of the original comics. Making a movie is a journey, not a straight line. I learned so much. People want what they want, and everyone has a personal view of how each character should look and walk and talk. If you set out to make a mass appeal movie, it's easy to end up with vanilla. But I went for it, and I know Squad has its flaws. Hell, the world knows it. Nothing hurts more than to pick up a newspaper and see a couple years of your blood, sweat, and tears ripped to shreds. The hate game is strong out there. The movie was wildly successful commercially. and the world got introduced into some very cool characters in the DC universe. And that success is due exactly to the wonder and power of DC, of its characters. Would I do a lot of things different? Yep, for sure. Wish I had a time machine. I'd make Joker the main villain and engineer a more grounded story. I have to take the good and bad and learn from it. I love making movies and I love DC. I'm a high school dropout and used to paint houses for a living. I'm lucky to have the job I have. I have to give the characters, the stories, and plots they deserve next time. Real talk. And no, there isn't a secret edit of the film with a bunch of Joker scenes hidden in a salt mine somewhere. So there it is. I think that's genuinely is a very thoughtful and very honest response. You don't get responses like that from filmmakers very often. They're very, kind of quiet and guarded about all that stuff, and they don't really respond to.
That's true, especially for criticism. A film that's a commercial success, because they usually fall back on that. Like, well, it made this amount of money, so someone liked it. But I actually appreciated the statement, what he said.
I did too, and I loved Suicide Squad. I mean, I'm one of the people that loved it, and that's that. But I also understand and recognize that people didn't, and that's cool. It was a divisive film, and I get that. It worked for me, but not for everyone. And I think it's cool that he recognized that. But I think hindsight is 20/20 for all artists. Anybody that draws, writes, directs, anything, any kind of artistic endeavor, looking back on your work, you're kind of like, I would have done this differently if I could redo it. And that's always a challenge. It's a hard thing to face. And I think that, Ayer's kind of looking at it. He's getting ready to do Gotham City Sirens and bringing back Harley Quinn. And I'm sure that he's going to take those lessons he learned from Suicide Squad and apply them to Gotham City Sirens. But I don't think that he needed to put this out, but I think it's interesting, and I give him credit for doing so. I think it's an interesting take on his own work.
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Chris don't give two fucks.
I mean, no, I think he's right about the hate train, about the people that people do kind of go overboard sometimes. I mean, I think the fanboys especially really take it personally. When
now that they have
the movie doesn't live up to
multiple forums.
And they take it way too seriously, I think. He gave his take on the film. I like Batman v Superman a lot, but that got, a bunch of Razzie nominations this morning, and
that's
it's just, I find...
Honestly, I think that's ridiculous. The
and
whole Razzie nominations for
it,
I think that's really pushing it. That's fucking bullshit.
People
that's
just
for Adam Sandler junk on fucking Netflix.
People just ramp it up so high, that's
well,
the
it's
thing.
A big publicity thing now too. So
I'm
what's
sure.
the most popular movie that we can rag on?
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and I'm positive that's the Razzies. I don't take seriously. It's a fucking whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, a lot of times they lambast movies that need to be fucking hit, but I don't know. I think Batman vs Superman is kind of an easy target in that sense, and that. Just because everybody's kind of bitched and moaned about it, it's like, oh, of course that's going to be on there. But I don't agree. It doesn't belong there at all. Divisive, sure. Worst of the year, no.
Did Suicide Squad get any Razzie nominations?
I did not.
Not for the big ones. There was maybe like writing or screenplay. I don't know. I just skimmed through it, but I was personally, I thought Squad was worse, and I'm like, okay, where are those now? Oh, Jared Leto, of course, got worst supporting, which I'm I agree with that 100%, but the rest of it was come on, Ben Affleck as Batman. If anything came out in the movie is that people loved Affleck as Batman. So
they have Affleck as Batman as worst. Oh, okay.
Worst actor, yeah.
Whatever.
They just like beating up on him though. It's weird.
That's true.
That's fucking stupid.
It's publicity.
But anyway, but I respect Ayer for posting it. I think he was trying to, extend an olive branch to the fanboys. But the thing is, the fanboys don't react to things the way that certain fanboys, yes, they're like, oh, okay, but most of them are kind of pissed off and oh, see, even he thinks it sucked, I mean,
I don't think most speaks to it. I mean,
no, but there's a group of them though, the non-silent,
it's a good amount, but not most.
Minority.
I think most are pretty low. I mean, you have to look at the money that it made.
It made a lot.
I mean, you don't make that kind of money if everybody hates your fucking movie. Mm-hmm, so, and I think a lot of that money came from the fans. The fans were like, hey, this is really fucking cool. Like me, I saw it 3 times. I think that's the movie I saw the most in the theaters last year. I just had a blast with it. It was a comic book movie for me. It was it exuded all of that shit. That's what I wanted to see. And then I remember walking out and I was like, am I fucking stupid? Maybe I'm a fucking moron. Maybe my taste sucks all of a sudden and I'm just shitty. But then I was like, no, I fucking love this movie. And it's obvious I'm not the only one.
And you're entitled, man. It's your opinion.
Kiss my ass. I fucking love it. In fact, I think it's one of the few movies I've watched quite a bit since I bought it on digital. I put it on quite a few times. So there. Take that. So anyways, I think that was interesting. I don't think he owes anybody that what he said by a mile, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's I don't know, it's interesting. I think that's really just the thing. It's interesting to hear his thoughts on that. I truly hope that the lessons he learned isn't to go and make a film that's, I need to really listen to the fans and listen to everything they have to say. I think you really compromise your integrity, and then you're making a paint by numbers movie at that point. You know, you're checking blocks rather than making creative decisions. And I really hope that Gotham City Sirens is not that. So I say, Ayer, keep doing your thing, make what you're going to fucking make. Take the, true lessons that you learn, but I wouldn't try and apply every fucking complaint to your next work. Which is Bright, which seems pretty interesting. The Netflix movie with Will Smith.
Yeah, that's gonna be unrestrained David Ayer, because they give pretty much 100% creative control, right? Netflix, so that's gonna be David Ayer with no studio notes. So
I don't know. Like, Netflix doesn't really report on how they do business or anything.
No, but from all that I've heard, though, I mean, and even just one of their movies that I saw at Sundance this year, it's 100% unfiltered, that person's vision. So we'll see.
I've been a fan of Ayer, well before Suicide Squad. Maybe that helped influence my view on the film. Like Training Day, he wrote. I love Training. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I
liked Harsh Times. I thought that was pretty good.
I really enjoyed Harsh Times. I thought Street Kings was really good. It's a very underrated flick.
I thought Street Kings was underrated too.
And I thought Fury was great. So there you go. Yeah. Some people.
I haven't seen a movie of his that he directed that I cared for that much. There were elements that I liked, but as a whole, he doesn't really do much for me.
And he's not gonna do anything for you. So you forget it.
He's not. Yeah. I will forget it. That message is for me. He's like, Sean, please. Sean, I made mistakes.
Maybe you're not going to be on the Suicide Squad 2 set visit.
I didn't make the movie you wanted, but you can go fuck yourself.
Fair enough. You can continue designing shitty-looking DC characters, my friend.
Okay. All right. So next up on the chopping block, we've got probably the most what the fuck news from Friday.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi. That's the title.
No.
Sorry, I'm still excited. Anyway,
James, and rightfully so. James Cameron looking to team up with Tim Miller of Deadpool to reboot or /remake or /finish / the Terminator.
Something.
The news is rather unclear, but Deadline is reporting that James is he's supposed to reacquire the rights to Terminator in 2019 to some extent. Although they're saying that David Ellison of Skydance, who co-financed that beautiful Terminator Genesis meltdown, is looking to bankroll an exploratory effort with some top-flight science fiction authors, and with James Cameron involved in some form, Tim Miller directing, to close out or continue or reboot or some such shit the Terminator. Either way, they're looking to continue to shove Terminator down our throats one way or another.
Just let it die.
I tend to agree with you, Chris.
And give Schwarzenegger a rest, honestly. Oh God, poor guy.
I think that's like one of the biggest things. Like, I love Arnold.
Me too, but it's just, I grew up with Arnold, guys getting a little long in the tooth. Just let him take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, let him do his apprentice thing, and
You're terminated.
You're terminated. Now get to the chopper.
Come on, let's do it.
Come on!
Get out of here. It's a Terminator.
There's something to be said for an entire, multiple generations of people that can accurately do a Schwarzenegger's voice.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I mean, everybody can. That's a hell of a legacy.
He was my guy growing up. I've mentioned this before, but in 91, that's my first cinematic memory. I fucking cried at the end of Terminator 2.
That is why I agree with Chris. I don't think that we need any more Schwarzenegger involved with Terminator. The guy has left a fucking legacy that will take eons for another. What other actor has stepped up to leave that kind of legacy? in terms of like just constantly quoting. You can do it. You're doing his voice. Endless movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to take a while for somebody to kind of catch up to it. Like,
yeah,
maybe
you know,
Tom
the
Cruise,
thing about
he's not
old-time
quotable like that.
movie stars of his generation, you know, what I liked about them is that they were so easily imitatable, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone,
yep.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. They were all like, oh, he's doing Stallone. Oh, he's doing Eastwood. You don't have people now say, oh, he's doing Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, he's doing
a Chris Pratt.
He's doing a Ryan Gosling. Although Gosling does have the hey girl.
Oh, he's doing a Chris Pine. You know, it's just like, it doesn't work that way. It's a different breed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He's left his legacy. Let it stand. Genesis was not fucking good. I know some people enjoyed it. I'm sorry.
No, they were just Terminators, not real people.
It was a terrible fucking movie.
You know what?
Really
to argue the other way, like, I do want to see another good movie in the Terminator universe, but it's hard to make an argument because they've tried it 3 times, right? We had the Terminator 3, which tried to be a sequel to Terminator 2, didn't work. We had Rise of the Machines, which tried to show the future war, didn't work. And then we had the reboot movie, and it really didn't work. It's just like, God, like, I would love to see another movie in that universe, but yeah, you got to let Arnold go. You got to tell your own story and get someone good to tell it. I don't know.
I think the only way it works at this point is a reboot. I think that's the only way it works. You need to find new actors, maybe even a whole new concept that just
no character
on...
name.
That's the thing.
No character named Sarah Connor. No character named Kyle Reese.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need. I mean, with the last
no
fucking thing
wooden
we need,
ass actors to portray them.
Yeah, we don't need a 19.
What have you got against Jai Courtney?
Oh Jesus!
You couldn't even say it with a straight face.
The red hot charisma of Jai Courtney. He's
doing Captain Boomerang.
He's doing a Jai Courtney impression.
Oh man, am I really that shitty?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do it, I don't want any kind of continuation off fucking Genesis. I don't want any continuation off anything they've done post T2.
That's not going to happen.
Now, if they wanted to do like a Neil Blomkamp type thing and finish off with a proper T3, maybe.
They don't need because it was closed out. The timeline was closed out, though. They won.
Not in T3 Rise of the Machines.
Who
at
cares?
the end of that, there's like it's the war starting.
No, but they won though at the end of T2. They won, so it's just leave it alone. Yeah. Fuck. Oh.
Well, kind of. The future was uncertain. They were looking at the highway and shit. Anything could happen. They have
deep.
The tears were playground. The saddest thing about T2 is the clothes.
I know now why you cry.
At that park, when they showed
but it is something
future.
that I can never do.
Oh man, I'm feeling it right now. I'm gonna need a minute, guys. We're gonna have to.
I like
podcast.
The Guns N' Roses. I like the Guns N' Roses song from that movie. You Could Be Mine. When your bitch slap rapping and your cokaine's done, you get nothing done. You could be mine. The video for that was great, where it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger is trying to kill Axl Rose. He's following around.
Oh
Axl Rose.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So great.
Chris, you should grow your hair like if you have it, or get a mullet.
I'm actually going to Guns N' Roses in July.
I want you to get a ginger mullet like that one kid in T2.
I thought you were gonna tell him to dress up like
amazing.
the Terminator.
Yeah.
And dress up like the Canadian Terminator. Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry.
There's your concept. Tim Miller, are you listening? Canadian Terminator.
We need a Canadian Terminator. I need your clothes.
I swear
your
I will not kill anyone.
Please.
I need to be all dressed.
If you could just give. Oh, fucking shit. Canadian Terminator. The movie. He's sorry, but he has to kill you.
So sorry.
Sorry. That's just like the whole trailer. He's just apologizing for everything.
Every person he shoots. Sorry about that.
I swear I will not kill anyone. I promise. Sorry
about that.
Sorry. All right, so that's it. That's the Terminator.
Kevin Smith is going to direct it.
Canadian.
Yeah, done. Bye.
Canadian Terminator coming from Tim Miller and James Cameron. Sometime. So next up we have. Last week we talked a little bit about Dwayne Johnson Instagramming about the new fun DCEU for funness. And shortly after that, we got the announcement that part of his excitement likely coming from that meeting was that they just gave him his own fucking movie. They've split Shazam basically into 2 films, Shazam and Black Adam. Now, which one comes first, I don't know, but you're
chicken or the egg.
Chicken or the egg. You're basically getting 2 Shazam movies, like it or not.
This is what everybody always wanted.
What everybody's dreamed. Most people don't know who the fuck Shazam is, let alone Black Adam. I always refer to Black Adam as the DC version of Namor, which is pretty accurate.
Well, what did The Rock say about it? That he's like the most, I don't know, cunning or evil villain ever
he's
of all time?
He's making some pretty bold statements there. But I mean, that's kind of that's kind of what Dwayne Johnson does. He's a great dude, but like, you know, he's all about the hype, and he'll sell the fuck out of that, and he'll say, you know, he'll Donald Trump that shit with his fucking like, he is the best villain of all time. It's my Sean Spicer joke of the day. I promise no political jokes, but just that one. So yeah, you're getting 2 movies from. I'm assuming Dwayne Johnson will be in both. I don't know. God, I hope they're not just 2 origin movies, because that just sounds exhausting.
Let's see if these movies even ever end up getting made, though.
I mean, I would be shocked if they don't, but Dwayne Johnson is kind of the king next to Guillermo del Toro in terms of announcing a fucking laundry list of projects coming up. It's like, bro, you're going to have to sleep someday, I promise you. It's going to catch up to you. So, there's that. And speaking of that, we may as well just segue right into Del Toro, who took to Twitter and did a little poll under the guise of voting for real, of seeing if people wanted a Hellboy 3.
Yeah, like he said, like 100,000 retweets or likes or something like that. I kind of took it to be like a joke a little bit.
Yeah, it was. He wrote, informal poll. Let's see how many votes we get in 24 hours. Hellboy 3. He didn't really specify if it was a retweet or a like or however, but I'm sure everybody's like, oh my God, yes, please give me Hellboy 3. And then he wrote, Hellboy 3 is our chance to vote the right way in 2017. If 100K votes come in 24 hours, I promise to have a sit down with Da Pearl and Mignola. So, I don't understand like why 100,000 tweets would do that. I think people have
That's why I took it to being like a very tongue-in-cheek, because like everyone keeps asking about it. He's like, all right, 100,000 million, and I'll have a sit down, you know, whatever.
I mean,
he didn't say that, but
listen, I would love to see Hellboy 3. I would love it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, ditto. I think if it got made, though, it would get made for like Netflix or something.
I mean, maybe that would be a way to go.
I could see that the only way it would ever get made.
I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know what keeps Del Toro and Perlman and everybody making another one. I don't know if it's a rights issue, if it's a timing issue, if it's a cast issue. I don't know. But I know that, you know, Del Toro is constantly stacking projects, and I love his work. I think he's a great filmmaker. I enjoy, I mean, pretty much all of his films. You know, there's something you can pull from all of them. But I just don't see this happening.
He just doesn't make that fucking coin, man. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, like that's like that's a genuine problem. Like, I mean, Pacific Rim, I would argue it was about as divisive as something like Suicide Squad. You know, there's people that love it and people that absolutely fucking hate it. I loved it personally. I loved it.
Yeah.
But it didn't make a lot of money. You know, getting a sequel was and originally he was going to do the sequel, but then he passed it off. So now we're getting a sequel, but it's a Del Toro-less sequel. So I mean, we'll see how that looks when it gets here. I mean, I'm certainly interested to see it, but the problem is he stacks way too many projects, and it's hard to, put too much stock in things like that. You know, we all want to. I think everybody wants Hellboy 3, but I don't ever see it happening. I would love to be proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it happening.
Likewise. Remember when he was going to do that R-rated movie with Tom Cruise, In the Mountains of Madness?
Oh yeah, yep, that was another one.
God, and I was looking forward to that.
Yeah,
and he has like props. He's had that showcase thing going on in LA, and he's got props from it and stuff.
He's got his sketchbooks where he's always like sketching like the ideas and
I think that's it's great. You know, he's so like passionate and like he's just a great creative guy. He's like one of the best we have working today, but there is only so much he can do. He's one dude, and I think that I remember we were at Comic-Con and he did a thing where he's like had the audience clap for which project would you like me to see me do, for Hellboy 3 or something else, or In the Mouth of Madness. And Hellboy 3 overwhelmingly people were like Hellboy 3, but it doesn't make any difference. It's still ain't getting made.
Yeah.
So anyways, next up we have Miles Morales of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man / now the current Marvel Universe, which used to be 616 and is now whatever the fuck it is. The worst iteration of Marvel Comics currently. Miles Morales, who is one of the Spider-Mans of the universe, is actually going to star in the animated Spider-Man movie from Phil Lord and Chris Miller of the Lego Movie and upcoming Han Solo movie, which is an interesting announcement. It's always been traditionally Peter Parker, and the resounding difference in character for there is that Peter Parker is white and Miles Morales is half black, half Hispanic. So there it is. It will be the first time that we have a different character of another race playing Spider-Man in a feature-length film, even though it's animated. What do you boys think about that?
I mean, whatever. It's fine. I think they need to do something to differentiate it from the other Spider-Man movies if it's Peter Parker. So it's a clever way of doing it, I think. So why not? I'm all for it. Could be interesting. I'm not that psyched about the project anyway. I mean, whatever. It's just another Spider-Man movie to me. But
yeah, I mean, well, when you say animated, it kind of like you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess if we were
that's exactly my thoughts.
If we were like 10, that would be like, oh. But
you sounded when you were 10.
I mean, I have a 7-year-old, so I hear all the crazy sounds he makes for the shit he gets excited about, which is always interesting.
Is he excited about it? Does he know about it?
He don't give a fuck.
See, there you go. Well, I think that's your answer.
I don't think he even knows what Miles Morales is. He's not really into Spider-Man. This is the thing. He has plenty of other interests, but Spider-Man is not one of them. I think using Miles for the animated film is actually a smart move because you've already got the new Spider-Man franchise kicking off with Tom Holland. And do you really need 2 Peter Parker Spider-Man franchises running at the same time? I think doing a Peter Parker for an animated film just feels like, why? It just feels, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why? Why are you even making that? I mean, I asked that when they first announced the project. I was like, why? Like, it just seems like overkill for some reason. It almost feels like a deal that was made before, like, Homecoming or something. Like, shit. Well, now
it almost feels like there's a lot of people calling out for Miles for the new Spider-Man. And it's like, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and placate those people's needs. Like, look, we have Miles. He's just in the animated movie.
Look, there it is. So, I don't know. I mean, for those that really like Miles, and I actually like Miles as a character. I've read many of the comics. I was reading the Ultimate Spider-Man book when Ultimates were still around, and he's an interesting character. He's become an interesting character. We can argue day and night, and I have my own feelings about why he was created, but I think that he has become a very compelling and interesting character, and he fits really well in the current Marvel Universe where he exists alongside Peter Parker, which I think is a fun dynamic because Peter Parker kind of acts as a mentor to him, which I think is cool. It's fun. But I think it's the right move. I think it's a smart move. We don't need 2 Peter Parker Spider-Man movies floating around out there. So there it is. All right. So last up on news, we're going to talk about the Logan and Power Rangers
I haven't
trailers.
seen either of these guys because I've been at Sundance.
You haven't seen either trailer? What the fuck, Chris?
Sundance.
God damn it.
I haven't seen the Power Rangers trailer, so.
For real? What the fuck, Sean?
Yeah, Sean, you have no excuse. I have an excuse. You don't have an excuse.
I'll be honest, Sean, you don't have an excuse. You work for JoBlo.com. You should have watched the trailer.
It's an important film.
I didn't write up the article.
What'd you say?
I said I didn't write up the article.
I don't give a fuck. All right, so do we want to do a trailer?
It was amazing. I saw it. There were Power Rangers and
it was so good.
Zardoz? Is that right?
I don't know. I didn't watch the show when I was a kid, but I do think that the movie looks really cool. Definitely going to see it. Looks fun.
All right.
It looks like it looks like to me. It looks like when I was a kid. Well, I wasn't really a kid when it was on. I was like a teenager. But I would see it, and my brothers would watch it, and I was like, this is so fucking stupid. I was like, it'd be so much better if they made it realistic. And the movie is kind of the answer to that. It's like, well, what if we did Power Rangers seriously rather than
what if we made it
cheeky,
Chronicle?
Goofy shit. Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, it looks cool and it looks fun. You can make the Chronicle comparison, but it pretty much jumps that shark once they're in costume and you start seeing all that stuff. Because Chronicle was about, you know, kind of a realistic superheroes thing, whereas Power Rangers
super realistic with them like flying around and throwing shit at the end.
Well,
but there were no costumes.
That's what I'm saying. There's no costumes. There was no like, you know, real cheesy kind of lines and things like that. It wasn't supposed to be like fun in that regard. And it's the only good Max Landis project ever.
That is a true fact.
So do you guys want to do a trailer reaction or no? Chris, are you able to do that from Sundance? Do you have an internet connection that you can watch the trailer?
Yes, I
Oh.
can.
Sean, we should just do Power Rangers since you guys haven't even seen it, so we can get some genuine reaction here.
There we go. You don't want to do Sandy Wexler?
No. But we
Sandy
can talk
Wexler,
about
I guess I won't be reviewing that one, eh?
Hey. Take off, hoser. We can talk about Logan while you guys power up the trailer. I thought the Logan trailer was pretty great. Sean did a outstanding Logan trailer breakdown, which you can watch.
Thanks. There were 2 mistakes, though. I have to bring it up.
On the site.
2 mistakes that the fans were like, hey, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, oh, shit, you're right. And I gave him credit, too.
Sean
one
fucked it up.
Is I mentioned, like, the Dark Phoenix doing her shit in X-Men United. It was actually X-Men The Last Stand. I got the titles mixed up. And there's a scene where it looks like that Logan is wiping off his claws, but he's actually, like, pulling it or something.
Yeah, I saw that, too, and I was going to... It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, that's what he's doing.
And once I looked closer, I'm like, oh yeah, that he is doing that. But
you know, that's not really that big of a deal. But yeah,
mistakes are made. I'm a human.
He's pulling the claw out. Anyways, the trailer I think accurately portrays what the movie is, having seen just 40 minutes of it. And I'm even more excited for it. So I think it's a great trailer. It's really fun, really cool. Doesn't give you too much. It really doesn't. If anybody that watches and think, oh, that's probably like the extent of it, it's like, no. You really don't have any idea. If they don't cut the scenes that we saw, and it is, James Mangold tweeted today that it is guaranteed rated R for violence and nudity and all that other stuff, which was in the 40 minutes. It is definitely a bloody affair, which I love. And I can't wait to see the whole...
I like the trailer, and if anyone's listening and hasn't read up on our 40-minute write-up, I would do so now, because that's actually what got me excited for the movie.
Well, actually, I have to make an amendment to that, because Fox actually contacted me on Friday and asked me to amend it. So it is heavily amended now. So those of you that read the original take, you're lucky, because it's gone now. Oh,
man. So you had to take out a lot of stuff?
Yeah, just about everything. These things happen.
We're going to talk about this later. That's so weird. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, from what I read, and of course from what Paul saw, it sounds really awesome. It's like the best version of what you think that trailer, might become as a movie.
That's a very good comparison. That's a good way to segue into it, is that it's, if you see that trailer and you're like, man, I just hope they really go for this or that, just rest assured that they do. So there you have it. Logan. I'm very, very excited for that movie.
I was born ready.
Okay, are we ready to do this Power Rangers trailer reaction? Sean, are you
ready? So all right, let's count it off.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go, go, go.
I got that. I hate that fucking intro thing. Back to Angel Grove. Oh, you didn't get the intro?
It's me and Earl and the Dying Girl guy. Ugh. I don't know. Whatever. This is fine.
Don't break his pencil, man.
It's very Chronicle.
Oh, look at the colors. Ooh.
I like the Bible joke.
She shoots up heroin like 1 second later in that scene.
Bryan Cranston collecting a paycheck.
I mean, it probably didn't take very much to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the dark-haired chick is, but she's very
I don't
attractive.
like that little robot.
So where were you last night?
I think the music is
Kanye.
pretty fun in
It's
this
Kanye
too.
West.
Is it Kanye West?
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
Kanye
not.
West.
Is it for real? I
Yeah.
take back what I said. I hate this music.
It worked for Assassin's Creed.
Oh, burn. They said ass.
Yeah. You don't recognize that as being Kanye West?
Oh, yeah.
I love
do.
Elizabeth Banks.
I don't really listen to Kanye West, to be quite honest.
And pure sex appeal.
How dare you, sir?
I think she's beautiful.
Elizabeth Banks really looks like she's having a lot of fun.
It's morphin' time!
But see, that's what I mean. You
Oh,
got,
man.
like, you still got the cheesy stuff, but you got the cool stuff, too. So it's like they've found the right blend of paying homage and having fun.
Looks like Gods of Egypt, too.
It's Gods of Egypt, too. Come on now.
It's going to be about as big a hit as Gods of Egypt. I think this is going to be a huge flop.
No way.
Really?
You know why? I played this trailer for my son, and when it was over, he was like, that looks awesome.
It's morphin' time!
Well, you heard it from a 7-year-old. It's going to be a huge success.
I mean, here's the thing.
He loved Monster Trucks, too, didn't he?
He didn't see it.
Although I liked Monster Trucks, but it wasn't a
You
hit.
liked it. You gave it a 6 on 10, motherfucker.
But it wasn't a hit.
And you're like 80. But anyways,
Yes, I'm 80.
I think Power Rangers is going to be good. I think it will be. It'll find the balance between fun.
Do you
and
think it'll make
cheesy.
your top 10 for the year?
No, but I think it'll be a fun watch.
Guys, do you want to hear a funny story? It's really short. So we
Does it
started
have
playing
Patton
the trailer.
Oswalt in it?
We started playing the trailer, and by like halfway through it, I realized I hit the compilation trailer that we have. That's the first and the second. And so you guys are commenting on shit. I'm like, when does Bryan Cranston show up? And I realized it was the compilation. I was watching the first trailer over again, and I still haven't seen the new trailer.
God damn it!
Fucking
Sean!
That's
You
all right.
can't-
It wasn't meant to be, Paul.
You can't judge what we saw based on that first one because that's a total teaser trailer.
I still
second-
saw people there, and
The second one is
see, I'm gonna
money
make
shot
mention
trailer.
like the guy, like there's a bully breaking the guy's pencil, and I don't even know if that happens in the
doesn't.
second trailer.
It doesn't, but that's why I was like,
That's
what?
what.
Fucking
Did I
Sean.
miss something? God damn it, Sean!
That's all right. I'm okay with that.
This is the worst trailer reaction ever. This is a terrible trailer reaction.
Yeah, we're going to get canceled next week because of this episode.
I will.
Because of Power Rangers.
It's gonna happen. All because of Power. Anyways, to sum it up, me personally, I think Power Rangers looks like a blast. I'm going. There's certain movies where I see the trailer, I'm like, I will definitely go see that. I'll definitely go. I'm definitely going to see Power Rangers. Of course, my son really wants to see it too. But the thing is, like, if there's a movie he wants to see that I don't want to see, that looks like shit, I just tell him it's never coming out. And he's not smart enough to defy me on that just yet. He's getting there. So I only
I'm
have.
gonna send him an email. Be like, hey,
He doesn't
dad's
have
a
he doesn't
liar.
have email. He's 7.
gonna shoot him a text.
He doesn't have a phone. He's 7.
I'm gonna send him a fucking owl. Okay, it's gonna happen.
He,
by Falcon.
he would fucking love that because he loves Harry Potter. If an owl came with a message, he would probably just pass out. He'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm going to Hogwarts." I'm like, no, you're
You
not.
throw the message into the fire like the Dursley you are.
Yeah, exactly. He would love that too. He'd be like, "The whole experience, Dad. You're so great." But yeah, like if there's some shit movie that I'll be like, man, I ain't fucking see it. Like Rock Dog. Like I'm not seeing no fucking Rock Dog. You're out of your fucking mind. But even he saw the Rock Dog trailer. He was like, that looks terrible. And I was like, man, you're coming around, kid. So, fuck Rock Dog. Sorry.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting a bit close to time for me to go do Dave Bautista's newest movie. So,
Sorry we ran long,
Shall we do a little
Chris.
Sundance wrap-up?
Let's talk about Sundance so you can leave early. Leave the podcast early to go watch your Dave Bautista movie.
I would never leave a podcast, especially like in the middle just to go pee or something, and then nobody notices.
Bag of milk drinker.
So, I'm at the Sundance Film Festival
Sean's
in
peeing
lovely
right
Park
now.
City, Utah. And I've seen some really good movies so far. It's been a great year for Sundance. Usually about 1 or 2 movies really breaks out from Sundance in terms of awards
Sean, now's
consideration.
the time for you to go to the bathroom.
You fucking. Ugh, I hate you.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Chris, but I know you're looking at the clock.
Anyway, so a couple movies. Oh, you fucking. Bye.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Don't be late, Chris. I'll kill you.
I'm going. The only reason I'm going to this Dave Bautista movie is because I think it'll get clicks. It's not because I want to see it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna stay home and.
We don't want no clickbait.
I'm just gonna stay home and masturbate. Then fuck it.
I mean. That's what I do.
Anyway, okay, so. There have been a couple of movies that have played at Sundance so far that seem like they could potentially break out. One of them is Mudbound with Garrett Hedlund, Carey Mulligan, Jason Clarke, and Jason Mitchell, the guy from Straight Outta Compton, which is kind of an epic World War II era drama about life in Mississippi. I think that one could do very well, and people loved it. And it's probably the first time I've really liked a Garrett Hedlund performance.
Did you say a World War II movie in Mississippi?
No, it's post-set around World War II. Around World War II. About veterans.
I was gonna say
veterans coming home and stuff like that. Jonathan Banks plays one of the worst, most evil people we've ever seen in a film before.
Great, another veterans coming home movie.
Worse than Black Adam.
He's pretty bad. But anyway, Mudbound is great. Another one that I saw that I really liked is called The Big Sick with Kumail Nanjiani from Silicon Valley, and it's actually based on his life because his girlfriend and now wife, Emily V. Gordon, almost died a couple of years ago of some mysterious illness. And it's basically about him taking care of her. And it's produced by Judd Apatow. And it's very much that kind of film. It got bought by Amazon for $12 million. So it's clearly going to have a big release.
Judd Apatow's getting fat because of Trump. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Another movie that I saw, thank you, is Call Me By Your Name with Armie Hammer, which is another one that people are putting up for potential Oscar consideration. I saw The Yellow Birds, which you might be interested in, Paul. It's a Gulf War movie with Alden Ehrenreich.
You gave it a 6 on 10.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. The first half of the movie was excellent.
When you say Gulf War...
Not Gulf War, sorry, Iraq War. I didn't say Gulf War in the review. Iraq War.
It's called OIF.
Okay. The Iraq War.
OIF.
And the first half of it is really good. But the second half of it kind of falls apart. You may have a different take on it than I did. Have you read the book that it's based on, Paul?
No, I haven't. I haven't even heard of it.
Alden Ehrenreich is really good in it. Jake Houston's really good in it. The movie...
Why does it fall apart?
Well, it all is kind of... I don't want to get into any spoiler territory, but it's all kind of based around a mystery aspect of it, where Alden Ehrenreich and Ty Sheridan...
Is it all about illegal killings?
No. Alden Ehrenreich. It's not In the Valley of Ella, although Jason Patrick plays almost the same role he played in the Valley of Ella in this film as a CID investigator.
Fucking The Valley of Ella, by the way.
But it's about, well, the thing is, Alden Ehrenreich's character and Ty Sheridan, they enlist together, and then Jennifer Aniston plays Ty Sheridan's mom, and she makes him promise to look after her son, but then Alden Ehrenreich comes back without Ty Sheridan, and it's what happened to him, and that's kind of the mystery of the film for the second half. And the first half of the movie, though, is more of a war film. It's almost like a Platoon type movie. And the first half of the movie is excellent. Second half of the movie completely falls apart. I saw
I'm always interested to see those movies just to like basically grade them on a scale of reality because so many of them take creative liberties that are just complete fucking horse shit. End of story. I'm sorry. Continue.
I also saw The Discovery, the new Charlie McDowell movie, which is going to Netflix with Jason Segel, Rooney Mara, and Robert Redford. It's been getting mixed reviews, and it's definitely the product of Netflix totally going hands off with the director. But it's overall, I think, a pretty interesting film. It's about, when the afterlife is scientifically confirmed, what happens to society. It premieres on Netflix March 24th, I think, so you'll all get to see it pretty soon. I really like this movie by Mason Blair, the guy who was in Blue Ruin, called I Don't Feel at Home in This World. Macon. I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, with Melanie Linsky and Elijah Wood, and that actually premieres on Netflix February 27th, and I thought that was very good. I don't want to go too much into it, though, but if you like movies like Cold in July, I think you'll like this one. It's kind of like that, has the same type of vibe. And, what else?
Wind
River, Tyler Sheridan's directorial debut. They say, although it turns out he actually directed another film that he's kind of left off his resume. But very good movie. Very much, it's kind of, it forms a spiritual trilogy. They said with Sicario and Hell or High Water, and it's the same type of thing where it's an action-driven movie, but it tackles a very important subject matter. And basically, the subject matter is the contemporary treatment of Native Americans on reservations. But it's all kind of dressed up in a murder mystery that turns into an action thriller. And it stars Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. And Jeremy Renner,
Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch.
yeah, but it's not. But they're not playing Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch.
Yes, they are.
No, but they do have similarities, though.
It's a Marvel movie.
But it could have been. Jeremy Renner, though, I think gives the performance of his life in that movie. I think he's never been better. I was gonna say it's the best he's been since Hurt Locker, but I know you don't care for that movie, Paul.
Fuck that piece of shit. It's a terrible fucking movie.
I really liked it. I mean, I think for me, Tyler Sheridan's 3 for 3. It's not as, dynamically directed as the other two movies because they had fantastic veteran directors behind it. But I think for a first-time director, it's pretty spectacular, and it was a really good movie. Very good commercial movie, and I think one that a lot of the JoBlo readers will probably really like. I hated Wilson, the Woody Harrelson movie. Thought that was terrible.
No, you were telling me about that.
Thought that was fucking terrible. Almost unwatchable. I really didn't like Landline with Jenny Slate, which is the new movie from the director of The Obvious Child, and it's too bad because I really like The Obvious Child. Thought that was crap. I just saw an anthology movie, XX, which is also a piece of shit. Tonight I'm going to see Get Out.
Dave Bautista.
Just as I was talking to you guys, actually, it came up on Deadline. They confirmed that the mystery screening tonight is Get Out, the Jordan Peele movie. So I'm seeing that tonight.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm seeing that tonight. And what else? There was something else. It was apparently Sundance was hacked by cyber terrorists that screwed up the ticket sales.
They're attacking Sundance.
Interesting. And there's also a blizzard here. I don't think the cyber terrorists are causing that, though.
It must be North Korea.
Could be. Hacking the weather. It's like the Avengers, the original.
We must hack Sundance.
With Sean Connery, where he hacks the weather.
Oh, yeah. Is his name like something Winter?
Yeah.
The Winter.
Lord Winter.
Gets hacked.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's funny.
God, there was something else I was going to say, too, though, about Sundance.
It's cold. There's lots of snow.
Been a lot of poking?
Oh, yeah. There's another movie that everybody loves that I haven't seen yet, but I'm seeing on Friday called A Ghost Story, which comes from David Lowery, the director of Anthem Body Saints and Pete's Dragon. It stars Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, and it was a top secret movie. Nobody knew it existed until about a month ago, and everybody's talking about how amazing
it's a Cloverfield movie.
It is a ghost movie, and it's Casey Affleck is dead, and he's come back to haunt his girlfriend, Rooney Mara. But here's the thing.
Bitch, I told you I would come back and haunt you.
Well, here's the thing, though. He plays a ghost, and apparently, from what I hear, he's playing a ghost complete with a white sheet, wearing a white sheet, and talking like this.
Oh my God, that sounds like torture.
The white sheet thing is true. I don't know if the voice thing is true. Somebody told me the voice thing. I think they might have been fucking with me, but the white sheet is true. I've seen images.
They probably fucking with you all the way through.
No, the white sheet is true. I've seen images, and it's in all the reviews. So I'm seeing it on Friday, and I'll let you guys know. But apparently it's an amazing movie. So there you go. It is silly. You don't like silly things, eh?
All right, so let's just really quick go into Split, because I know you felt a little differently than I did. I really enjoyed Split. I thought it was M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, wait. We're going to go into spoilers. So for those of you who haven't seen Split, if you don't want to get it spoiled for you, turn away or something.
Why don't you just make one of those special things where you interject? Because
that's easier. Then I could just say it, and I don't have to do it.
God damn it. All right. So anyways, I enjoyed Split very much. I offered my son, I said, hey, let's go to the movies today. Do you want to go see Triple X or do you want to go see Split? And we watched both trailers. And he was like, as soon as the Split trailers, he was like, I want to see that. I was like, all right, let's go see Split. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. So we went and saw Split, and I really, really enjoyed it. And maybe part of it was because M. Night has kind of been laying out some very disappointing films in the last 10 years or so. And I didn't see his last one. I know that was a little more critically.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Visit either, actually, but I've seen the rest before that.
So anyways, I watched Split, and I thought I had a lot of fun with it. I know I say that a lot, but here's the thing. I say that because if I watch a movie and I don't enjoy it, if I don't get that thrill of being in a theater and watching it, then it's not fun. And I don't mean fun like a goddamn birthday party. I mean fun like, Jesus, this is a good time. I'm having fun being here. I'm not looking at my watch. I'm not trying to, I'm looking at my phone. Nobody has a watch anymore. But I'm not like, I can't wait for this to be over. that's when I know I'm not having fun. Okay, so I don't use the term fun to mean like some goddamn birthday party where we're fucking singing songs and open presents.
You don't have fun at birthday parties?
Not really. They're kind of a torture. Once you have a child, birthday parties are fucking terrible because then you go to every goddamn one of them and they're a nightmare. So, anyways,
that's a real horror. That's Shyamalan's next.
It really is. Yeah, the birthday party for 7-year-olds.
The birthday party, and it's just like very straightforward, a child's birthday party. You know, that's it.
It would be horrible. He's like, "Hey, who's watching the kids? Oh fuck, I don't know. What's going on?" The kid comes up crying. You're like, "What happened?" It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. That is truly horrific.
Oh my god. So anyways, I thought James McAvoy was outstanding. It's like, this is kind of an actor's dream role because they can just really, he's playing 23 different personalities, although I don't think he gets to all 23.
No, I think you really see like 7 or 8.
Yeah. But he really does the great transition from personality to personality. And it's just a fun role. I can't see any actor being offered this part and being like, it's not for me. Like, it's a dream role.
100% on that. James McAvoy was having fun, and only that, he did a phenomenal job. But like each time he was portraying a different character, you saw that character. You didn't see like, it wasn't like, oh, James McAvoy is this. I don't quite get it. It's like, no, you saw like Hedwig, who was the 9-year-old, 11-year-old. I don't remember, but the like little kid.
9.
Or you saw Dennis, who is the OCD kind of controlling guy and stuff like that. He killed it.
And look at this. Already you're remembering characters that he played, of multiple characters, which is more than you probably remember from Rogue One. I'm just saying.
Rogue what? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that Shyamalan movie.
But anyways, I think in the end, and also the girl, and I can't remember her name. I could go to IMDb cheat right now, but
it's like Anya
she was great.
Taylor?
Yeah.
Anya
I thought she was really great. She had she had the look and the attitude and everything down of the character that she was playing. And I thought she did a great job. The other two girls were a little more disposable and a little bit annoying too. But I thought Anya was terrific.
And she's making a name for herself with these genre pictures.
Yeah,
like
she really
is. Witch, Morgan. I didn't see Morgan.
I didn't see Morgan, but I've heard good things about Morgan. Jimmy O loved Morgan. I don't know if that means anything.
Sorry, we don't talk about Jimmy O. He's not looking forward to Star Wars. I don't care.
Fuck you, Jimmy O. By the way, we're supposed to have Jim.
For the most part, I agree with you. I liked the movie overall, actually, despite how my Facebook posts read. I didn't agree with the last third of it. I felt it was a little too silly. And not so much in the conception of it, but when he became the Beast and he was like super powerful, kind of like an X-Man or something. It's just like the way it was portrayed, like seeing like the CG veins and him like climbing up walls like Spider-Man for no reason. And like the last third was more of like your typical like slasher flick where he's chasing the girl, but he's not really trying very hard to get at her. So like that, I just kind of checked out of the movie. But I enjoyed the 2/3 up to it. I love seeing it with a packed audience. I went on Sunday night and it was still packed.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
It's great seeing the horror movies with a packed audience because you get that kind of, not only the jump scares, but like the laughter too. Those moments of levity, which Shyamalan is generally really good at.
Yeah, and there's a lot of laughs in it, especially like with the Hedwig stuff was really funny.
Oh yeah, is him dancing.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what it is about these serious
dude.
Movies where they have actors dance, like in Ex Machina, with Oscar Isaac dancing or something. But that was great. But yeah, the last third didn't do it for me. It felt typical, and that's even without the Unbreakable connection. After the credit.
All spoilers. Yeah. So for me, I think for the last third, I enjoyed it. I didn't have as much a problem, and I liked the mysterious build that led up to. I thought it was like really dark in terms of of Anya's origin. I knew that something was going towards that, but then when they actually went there, her past history that kind of came home to roost with her and was not so much the big reveal, because what I liked about it is it didn't hinge on a big reveal per se, like his other films, which felt like, a pull the rug out from under you, but it felt more earned. It felt more like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. That's not like some like, oh my God, it's this. It was more like, oh, okay, yeah. And he built it in a way that it was more subtle than his other, like, again, jerk the rug out from under you kind of reveal.
I
like that
idea of it, but I felt like they didn't do anything with it. It's like, all right, she was abused, and that explains a lot of her behavior in this
scenario. It's not that she was abused, it's that she was a cutter. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. She's a cutter. So she's abusing herself. That's what all those marks are from her.
Abuse on all sorts of levels. But
right,
like, they didn't really do anything with it. Like, it didn't amount to much. And especially when the Beast saw it and he decided to leave her alone because she had physical scars, and he had a thing about only people who have been hurt like have a power, if you will. Like, that was his gist. But it's like coming from someone who has split personalities and has all sorts of scars, if you will, like under the surface, to judge someone of what's on their skin, that seemed like a little hypocritical of the character to do. And then he just saunters off, and that's like the end of the movie.
And I agree with you there, but I think ultimately he's a crazy person. So
well, yeah,
I think that's where it comes from.
It's just like the Beast character it just wasn't interesting, and I just checked out like almost immediately. Like,
I think
I didn't have anything interesting to say.
I think I had hoped that the Beast would be a little more prominent have a little more distinction rather than just like muscles and veins. So, because I understand it's like, but again, Shyamalan's thing is like to ground it more in reality. So it's more like a realistic superhero thing, which leads to the Unbreakable end credits.
Part of the Shyamalan-verse.
The Shyamalan-verse. Where we see spoilers. Bruce Willis's David Dunn sitting in a diner as he's watching the news footage of the event that had just transpired with McAvoy's character and the girl escaping, and somebody says, wasn't there another guy that was kind of crazy like this one? What was his name? And then David Dunn's sitting there as actual, Bruce Willis, and he's like, Mr. Glass. So ultimately what it kind of does is it opens the doors for Shyamalan to, basically it's almost an unofficial sequel to Unbreakable in a way, because it's basically an origin story of a new villain with David Dunn's hero character at the end, which I found very interesting. I could see how some people would be like, that's cheesy or that's silly, and it kind of is, but out of all of his movies that you would want to see a sequel to, it's Unbreakable. Everybody's like, I'd like to see more of Unbreakable, because you could take that in other directions, and I think this kind of reestablishes that connection and opens it up, even though most of the people in my audience had no fucking clue what the hell was going on.
I'd say about a third of mine knew.
Yeah.
Like there was like audible people talking about it and stuff like that.
But I think that's cool. I would love to see them. It's not like we need a Defenders level M. Night Shyamalan movie of this, but I'd be very interested to see another tale that brings back David Dunn into the fold, or even Mr. Glass for that matter.
I assume like all of them would be brought back, because I think Shyamalan mentioned he spoke with Sam Jackson about it.
Yeah.
He
commented on it.
So ideally, like, this was almost like it's kind of smart on his end, because it's for the most part a standalone movie, but he threw that thing in there. So if this does well, and it's made $40 million opening weekend, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd say, it's pretty likely.
It's what, all in all, I think what it felt to me was like, it was a really nice return to form, but also a step forward for M. Night. I didn't feel like, he wasn't trying to recycle his old gags. Instead, he kind of took what he does, his style, and I feel like he took a step forward with it. So honestly, I'd like to see if he could pull off another one like this with, still in the Unbreakable universe. I'd be game for it. I'm totally down for it. And, again, it was an enjoyable movie. I had fun. When it was over, my son turned to me and he was like, I can't wait. So my son a lot of times if he likes it, he'll be like, I can't wait till we can buy that on digital. Like, it just shows you like the new generation. Like, I used to be like, man, I can't wait to buy that on Blu-ray. He's like, I can't wait till we can buy that on iTunes, because we pretty much buy all our movies there at this point. And I don't know, like, if a 7-year-old kid like really digs it, I think that says a lot, even though he was my kid.
Not much, because like I liked a lot of shit when I was 7 too. So
yeah, but I mean, most like let's be honest, most 7-year-olds going to see Split would probably fucking shit their pants. You'd be like, oh, free.
Well, I mean, I'll shit my pants for like any movie. You
shit your pants on the reg.
It's like, okay, like, I actually watched Unbreakable earlier today, and like I never loved the movie. I just liked it. I was kind of ho-hum about it, and I still feel the same. So like Split and Unbreakable for me are actually pretty close to each other. I'd rank Unbreakable a little ahead, but
yeah, I think
for me, like, Shyamalan is still getting back to that level. Like, he's not quite like he was 2/3 there for me, and he's like, he didn't quite get there. So I'll be interested to see what he does with it.
And there it is. There you go. So go see Split. It's good.
Or not, go see XXX.
Go see XXX.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't either. I was close. We almost
I know that's surprising that you gave him the choice and he went with Split. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was surprised because I figured, no, there's no way he's gonna want to see this because it looks kind of scary. And he was like, "Let's go see that." And it's funny to hear him describe it because my wife was actually out of town and she came home and she's like, "Oh, so you saw Split?" She's like, "So what was it about?" She likes to ask, and he's like, listening to him explain it is always hilarious because like you just kind of you see how much he took in and the way kids remember things. They remember scenes and they remember things like that, so it's very interesting to hear them describe it. So
and props for Anya Taylor-Joy like running around in like a tank top at the end of that movie. I did like that part of the third act. She's
very attractive young lady. And then the other girls, like when Dennis was like, "You're gonna have to take your clothes off," I was like, "I don't have a problem with this. That's all right."
I was Team Dennis at that point.
Team Dennis.
He was making kidnapping great again, I'll tell you.
That's fucked up.
It is a little bit. This is what happens when Chris goes. We get dark, people.
This is it. We need Bumbray to reel us in with his Canadian sensibilities.
Make a fun, lighthearted joke, and then we're back.
Hey, guys. Hey, that's too much.
Hey.
What?
That sounds like Italian.
Hey, apologize. Say sorry.
It's too much.
Say sorry.
Well, we got some viewer comments and questions. Jack Napier off YouTube says, "Your podcasts are cool.
Wow.
Just put up a video camera and wear pants. And you got a video
I don't
podcast,
own a pair of pants.
Right?
We don't wear pants in Canada.
Yeah. I thought it takes a lot more than that. I'll listen to you guys anyway. So
that's really asking a lot.
We don't actually have pants in Canada. So
actually what's funny is I was going to talk to you guys about potentially doing that sometime this year is to work in video. But the truth is like I'm hovering over a microphone. There ain't nothing sexy going on here.
I'm lying in bed.
If you really want to see our faces moving, like we're literally just like three dudes just chatting. So
and I'm just drinking really over here. So I mean, and we're not together. So I think that takes out some of the appeal of having a video podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if we were all facing each other and we could react off of each other, I think that would be a little more fun.
Yeah, and I'd like poke like Bumbray in the ear or something.
Yeah.
See, that would be fun, but we're not together, so.
The things we could do to Bumbray. We could wear costumes, I guess, or something maybe.
I could wear a sheet over my head and then
and you could
look, I'm Casey Affleck.
Hello, it's me, Sean Wist on the podcast.
I hope he does something.
It would be pretty awesome if he did.
All right, moving on. So next, we got Classy. He's back. Classy's
back. Classy's back.
And he wants to know, who do you think will win in a fight?
Classy's back.
Jason Bourne, the accountant, or John Wick?
Weapons or fists? Weapons or no weapons?
He didn't specify.
He didn't say. He just said fight. And John Wick's not going to show up without a gun, and John Wick would kill them all. I'll tell you why John Wick. Because John Wick does not hesitate. John Wick is fast, furious. Fucking Jason Bourne would be like looking around, trying to like, what is the best angle here? And he's quick, but he's not as quick as John Wick.
I got 3 different answers for you. If it's fists, I'm going with Jason Bourne. If it's like with guns, but it's an unplanned thing, like it just happens, I'm going with John Wick. But if they have time to plan for it, I'm going to go with Ben Affleck, the accountant.
I think that's actually a very
Me
good
too.
answer. I stick with Sean's answer. I think that's a good.
I am glad that we're
Can't
friends.
do better than that.
Shut up. Anyway, next one.
Shut your
we got
mouth.
Kevin Moeller on YouTube. He's like, multiplicity shows how amazing of an actor Keaton really is. That's Michael Keaton. If they were to remake that, who would you want to play Doug?
Michael Shannon.
Want to see a 4 different versions. Michael Shannon.
No, shut the fuck up. Michael Shannon.
Don
Get
Johnson.
the fuck out of here. No.
That's
Not funny.
those are your
You know
stock
who would be
answers.
fun is somebody like Ryan Reynolds would have a lot of fun with that role.
It just
That seems a
happened.
little
Fuck,
obvious,
the change up is that movie.
How dare you? He's Canadian.
I know he's the pride of Vancouver.
No, but seriously, Ryan Reynolds would
Oh.
have. He could play that. He could play that. I cast
No
Ryan
interest.
Reynolds.
I'm going to go with Liam Neeson.
You know who could do it actually? Ryan Gosling.
pizza
Ryan
stir.
Gosling would be good.
Fuck you.
Because Ryan Gosling is
Oh,
way
Jesus,
better than
well,
Ryan
fucking
Reynolds.
Gosling.
Guys, this question is tearing us apart. I'm going
We
to move
did
on.
a face-off. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
won.
I wonder why. Because he's
All right.
Deadpool. That was rigged. You fuck it. You fudged.
So
you
Corey
fucked that
Cook-
up.
Ooh,
didn't
you hear
on
that?
YouTube.
You hear that, Matt Rooney? Chris just called
Yeah.
you out.
I did.
Right, moving
Chris
on.
just
So
called you out.
Corey
Matt
Cook
Rooney.
says, your recent chat on changing your minds about movies was amazing. One of the ones I changed my mind on was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Hated it at first, but now I really like it.
I liked it at first, and now I
you're
hate
entitled
it.
to your
I liked
opinion,
it at first,
but
and
you're
now I
wrong.
hate it.
Yeah. That was my Phantom Menace. Like how people bitch about like how Phantom Menace like destroyed their childhood. That was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for me.
I hate those childhood.
Anyway, the question: what MacGuffin would you like to see Indy go after in the next Indiana Jones movie?
Has he already done the Holy
question,
Grail?
actually.
Yes, he has. Has he already done the Lost Ark?
That's a great.
That is a good
I mean,
question,
honestly,
though,
that's
yeah.
a really great question, and there's so many
You know, it'd be
different
cool.
ways.
You know, it'd be
could
cool.
go.
The Crown of Thorns, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know the need to do the religious
Yeah, maybe
thing
not.
again. I think there's so many different directions you could go, and to be quite honest with you, I haven't given it a lot of thought. But I do think it's a great question, and I hope that they do something that still instills that mystery without you feeling like you're being, like, what the fuck? If it becomes eye-rolling, I think that's a problem. But I never rolled my eyes in the first 3 Indiana Jones, but King of the Crystal Skull is like, what the fuck?
See, I mean, we could go all day about Crystal Skull, but I didn't have a problem with the aliens. It was just how the rest of the movie was done. Like, Spielberg said something about Indy when he's like, I should have been making these movies this whole time, and I agree with him, because he would have done so many different stories. Like, I know a ghost story was going to be planned for one at one point. But
I think that's
because
great.
he hadn't done one in such a long time, the pressure was on to deliver, like, the greatest indie movie ever,
No, they
which
sure
is wrong.
didn't.
It's like, no, tackle something different with each indie movie.
Yeah, just tell us.
You know
what? I'd
if they
like to see. I'd like to see them go back to Indy's World War II days when he was actually
I don't think
fighting
they
in
can
the
do
war,
that, though. He's too
an
old
indie
now,
war
though.
film. That would be great.
Yeah, and he like stumbles upon like a plot to
But
find
he's too
some
old, though. They
artifact or
can't do that,
something
though,
during
because
the war.
he's too old.
I don't think he's too old. I think you could still measure him up to the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, but the thing is, though, how are they going to set it in World War II, though? Because
he had just gotten out of World War II. He was like, oh, hey, Colonel, or whatever the fuck they called him, like whatever rank he was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I think that you could easily pull that off. Just set it a few years before Crystal Skull. And that's what was fun about the Indiana Jones films to begin with, because Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders. Like, you have like these different time frames. They can jump around. They can play with it. But I think, some story set in during the war.
I think they did make a
like,
mistake by not
like,
having him fight Nazis in some way. I think that's just part of the series.
I don't think he needs to fight Nazis in every one.
Yeah.
He didn't
But like
fight.
placing it during the war is actually a smart idea, because then you don't have to worry about Shia LaBeouf not being in your movie. And people asking questions.
That's true.
Make
And we don't
it
have
a
to.
prequel, and you don't have to.
And you can
explain away all that.
sidestep the whole pass the torch thing. Like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's it for our listener comments and questions. But for the rest of our listeners out there, if you want to comment on anything, or if you have a question about anything whatsoever, feel free to put it in the comments section on JoBlo.com or on the YouTube channel, wherever you're listening to this, or give us a review on iTunes as well. That's fun.
That's it for us this week. Hope you enjoyed catching up on all the news, our Sundance coverage, our Split discussion. Remember, you can check us out at JoBlo.com for all your news, reviews, interviews, exclusives, etc. Also, check out our YouTube channels. Now, one thing to keep in mind is our YouTube channels are splitting up. So I believe I mentioned this last column. Basically, we have so much content at this point, we've had to break it up into different channels. So all of the original videos that we do are all going to the original videos channel, including this podcast. So I think this week will probably be the last week that it posts on the main channel. And the following week after that, it will be on the original videos channel, which is JoBlo Videos. So please, if you enjoy it, please go over there and subscribe. Lots of other great videos that'll be uploaded there, including our trailer breakdowns, which Sean did this week, and many other videos. So a lot of our returning series will continue to be there, and they're a lot of fun. We're very happy with that channel. We really want to build it up and continue to provide you guys with really fun, cool videos for your enjoyment, free of cost. Just subscribe. And that's it for us this week.
Yay.
Thank you for your efforts.
Chris is gone. We can say what we really feel now.
It's just you and me. We can say, ooh, I heard him leave Skype. Chris is gone. Fuck Chris and his stupid bald head.
Man, all dressed, more like all shit. Am I right?
Fucking bag of milk, Bumbray.
Bag of milk, Bumbray. Bumblefly, Bumbray. Get out
Bumble,
of here.
Bumbray. Fuck you, Chris. You dirtbag. Let's just talk shit. We don't even talk about
That's
Split.
it. That we don't even mention a review.
We're not even going to talk about Split.
Chris is not going to listen to this.
Fuck
so
you,
it's
Chris. You
fine.
idiot.
We're good.
Your reviews better be great.
We're taking live calls right now. If you hate Chris, call us.
Call us, but you must speak in a ghost voice, or we will not take your call. Hello, podcast.
None of this makes sense anymore. Chris was the glue holding this fucking podcast together.